What's going on, everybody? As always, it's a blessing to be here and welcome to UL Exchange. If you guys are new to this channel, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification so you can be notified every single time I drop information fact videos, just like the one you're watching right now. By that being said, guys, today's video we'll be talking about Ripple XRP and what does the UAE joining the BRICS Plus nation mean for XRP. So I have a PowerPoint set up for you guys. It's a new way of showing that I'm trying to do. So I'm speaking to you guys and you can visually see it as well. That's kind of the same thing I currently do as well by putting up the pictures on the screen of what's going on when I speak about them. So let's just get straight into this video. So first things first, we're looking at Ripple XRP. What does the UAE joining the BRICS Plus nation, we'll talk about what the plus is as well, mean for XRP? So we'll be covering 5 topics. So the BRICS Plus background, the BRICS Plus development, the UAE and Saudi, China alignment, and then we'll also talk about the new candidates that want to join the BRICS Plus nation. So BRICS background. BRICS is an economical for the powerful grouping of the world leading emerging market economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The plus is for any country that wants to join the BRICS Plus nation. And the purpose of the BRICS is the BRICS mechanism aims to promote peace, security, development, and cooperation between all of the joined countries. So that's a small background of what the BRICS nation is, and they all involve these countries listed here and any other countries that are emerging in economical strength, and you see the marketing as well, to join these nations. So let's talk about BRICS Development Bank admits UAE, Bangladesh, Uruguay as new members. Okay, guys, so this is from Reuters, and on London, September 2nd, 2022, the new development bank, NDB, set up the BRICS nation, or groups of nations, said on Thursday, it had admitted the United Arab Emirates, Uruguay, and Bangladesh as members in its first expansion push. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, a group of major emerging economies known as BRICS, launched the bank in 2015 together as a co-joined bank and started formal talks with potential new members last year. So we'll also get into what is the benefit of these new members joining for the BRICS nation and what are the new members benefiting for themselves as well. So new members will have an NDB, New Development Bank, a platform to foster their cooperation in infrastructure and sustainability development, said NDB President Marco Trojo in a statement. And he continued on saying, we will continue to expand the bank's membership in a gradual and balanced manner, he said. Since launched, the Shanghai headquarters lender has signed off some 80 projects worth $30 billion in all of its 5 member countries, stretching across sectors for transport, water, sanitization to clean energy, right, guys? Everything is about energy crisis and this clean energy, renewable energy, and the low carbon status, or digital and social infrastructure. So this is what's going on with the BRICS development. And that's what the main reason, or that's what they're telling us the main reason is, that they all joined together, created their own bank, and they're funding it through what many projects with over $30 billion that's coming from these 5 countries alone. Saudi UAE partnership, this is what we'll be talking about now. What's their purpose of joining, their cause of joining, their issue of joining, and the gas prices. Okay, guys? So Saudi and UAE partnership, these countries also account for 23% at the global economy and 18% of trade, which reflects their relative importance to the global economy as a whole. Recently, Saudi Arabia applied to join the group, which is a BRICS Plus nation group, a move warmly welcomed, let me just increase the size here, warmly welcomed by existing members. Discussions are also being held about the prospect of the UAE and Turkey joining as well, which will lead, this is where we're going to get into the benefits, okay? So, which will lead to a fundamental change in the global power dynamics and help create a more balanced order. When the UAE joins, when Saudi Arabia joins, if you don't know, these are the two world leading exporters of oil to United States, to Russia, to Europe, to Africa, everywhere else. That's why you see the Saudi princes, Saudi kings, they're basically the rulers of oil. And that's why you see a lot of billionaires and trillionaires coming out of Saudi and United Arab Emirates, which is good to see. But now the power dynamics of the world is shifting because the dollar is called the petrodollar, which is used to make exchanges between the oil and every other country using the dollar. Now, the same way Russians saying Russia or any other country needs to pay us Russian rubles to receive our oil, to receive our food, anything like that. The European Union didn't like that. America didn't like it. But what's truly going on? They're planning a shift to switch from the Petro-United States dollar and coming to the BRICS alliance to shift the global economic power. So the likely accession of these three countries means a huge change will tip the balance in favor of East Saudi Arabia, with its enormous potential in energy, and the UAE as a global commercial and finance center, and Turkey. So these are the things I really want to focus on because these are the benefits of them joining. And if we can go back here, we can see the cause of joining, the issues of joining, the gas prices. As I told you guys, everything will be affected. So when they join this, how is the United States going to be able to get their gas prices? You know, there's a lot of gas in the United States. There's some gases in European countries. But if we don't start taking care and using our resources, if we're just going to keep on using our money to get the resources from every other country and keep on exporting, or whenever they export it, we keep importing everything in it, just like what China is doing, exporting everything, but importing basically a minimum fraction. But the United States is doing the opposite, which is importing so many things and exporting so little things. That's going to affect everything, including the gas prices that we see currently. So Saudi Arabia, which is enormous power and energy, the UAE as the global commercial and financial center, and Turkey, with its location, industry, and technological growth, will add significant influence to the group and redistribute power between East and the West. So Saudi and UAE partnership continues, so the accession of oil producing countries would mean the group dominates with 31% of oil or global oil production. In itself, with a dramatic development that will have fundamental effects on international relations. Simply because the world will see is as an integration in BRICS, the most important producers are consumers of energy, but pay attention to this keyword, commercial and logistical centers within the group means greater control over global trade. And over here, we can see the existing economic system and its components founded 80 years ago will no longer be feasible, owning massive changes in the economic and geopolitical shift of balance of power. Now let's get into China alignment. What will happen? What does China have in mind? And what's going to happen with this buying of the world? China alignment, as we can see here, the proposed BRICS expansion. I'm hoping you guys can see it clearly and the effects of what the BRICS expansion is doing. The current BRICS members and the proposed BRICS members, you guys can see Nicaragua, Argentina, Egypt, Algeria, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Afghanistan. We'll get into Afghanistan as well, and Zimbabwe at the end. Pay attention. Kazakhstan, Indonesia. You can see, of course, India. These are the red ones, are basically the top tier 5 that founded this BRICS nation. And you can see everything else as well that will be getting added. And what is it doing? A dynamic power shift between the United States, which is holding the economic power, trying to keep climbing up the ladder, being number one, but there needs to be a shift coming for this world to change. And the China alignment is Chinese scholars are on the opinion of the 5 connectivities and policy, infrastructure, trade, and finance, and people to people, so or peer-to-peer, constitute the common way forward for both the BRI and BRICS. They highlight how China has been working towards strengthening the interconnection of economic development. Strategies of different states along the BRI or BRI, particularly the BRICS nation, aligning and integrating BRI to BRICS infrastructure projects and ensuring unimpeded trade, enabling deep integration of financial mechanism, and pursuing multiple forms of cooperation. You guys can pause this video and read everything you guys want. I just want to take out the highlighted parts, and I won't read this whole thing here. But China, it is argued, should shift from an individually leading specific project to constructing and leading various international institutions. How is this affecting the United States, or how is it affecting XRP? The institutional. Okay, guys, pay attention. Everything has a shift in this world. And exerting itself through institutional norms. President Xi emphasized this is all well at the quote-unquote Belt and Road International Cooperation Summit Forum in May 2017. All of this have been going on for a long time. All of this has been going on for a long time. That's what I want you guys to understand. And the implications of what has been going on and what they are trying to push forward, this BRICS agenda, will destabilize the United States from being the world economic leader. And that's what they want with this alliance, dissipating the United States petrodollar and just getting it off the standard. That's the whole goal behind it. So the new candidates, Afghanistan and Zimbabwe, why join? What do they benefit? Right, guys? You can see the new candidates. If accepted, the new proposed BRICS member would create an entity with a GDP 30% larger than the United States, and over 50% of the global population in control of 60% of global gas reserves. You can see Afghanistan here, GDP is $21.5 billion, basically a fraction of a cent compared to the United States, trillions of dollars. And GDP per capita is USD 520, 2022 growth rate 2%, and the population is 40 million. And Afghanistan is controlled by who right now? The Taliban. So how is all this going to be processed when, when the new candidates, which are Afghanistan and Zimbabwe, offer to be alliances with, let's take a look at the map, the BRICS nation? How will that work? You see Afghanistan here, right here. So how is that going to work? Very, very interesting question. But again, it says it will be 30% larger than the United States with the GDP. They're lacking so much behind. And let's get into Zimbabwe. Vastly improved rating in global circles is evident in how our candidates to various international bodies continue to succeed on the back of multinational support spanning across the ideological spectrum. And we know that Zimbabwe is basically spending millions and millions of Zimbabwean currency because a dollar over there is so much crazy. The inflation is insane. And we can see it on the GDP per capita and the population and on the GDP growth rate as well, and how everything is affected. So all of this conclusion is to tell us what is to come in the future, what's going to happen when the BRICS nation evolve, and how will everything affect this specific United States petro when everything shifts from the balance of the United States to the whole world globe, and half of it separating and joining the BRICS nation, and the United States dollar will be dissipated and demolished. How will that affect each individual person watching this video? How will it affect each individual person not watching this video? And how will it affect nations as a whole? That's why I'm making this video. I want to get across. I hope you guys understand it. That's all I have for you guys today. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And if you understand what's going on, or even if you don't, comment below. Let's create a discussion. And I am starting a Discord group very, very soon. Of course, it's going to be free. I just want everybody to join in there and we can talk we can figure things out, and we can help each other out as well when we come up with news, anything like that. Let's stay connected. By that being said, guys, I'm Crypto E with your exchange. I appreciate you guys for tuning into this video. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless. Peace out.